Elden Ring is a massively expansive game. Everything about this game has had an impact on the gaming industry and how it was influenced the games being developed. The game has released solid RPG mechanics and punishing combat system. Both of these factors work together to create an unforgettable experience. Indeed, these features can contribute to the game's enormous popularity among players. That being said, here's my picks for the best Elden Ring similar games to play in 2023. Now, for an entry that many players probably expected to see, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is the previous From Software's games to Elden Ring. This game, on the other hand, managed to stand out from its predecessor. Its comparison to Elden Ring, the combat in its game focuses much more on fluidity, block timings and parryings. That's not to say that the fighting isn't planned, it certainly is, but in a slightly different way than Elden Ring. As a result, Sekiro may still be relevant even in 2023 and going forward. If you haven't played this game yet, you should definitely give it a shot because you might prefer its setting, combat, or aesthetic. This game is simply incredible, making every moment of gameplay feel intense. Furthermore, the learning curve within the game's combat is simply stunning, as it challenges the players to strive for perfection. Overall, you haven't played this title yet, now's a fantastic time to do so. Sekiro is one of the best games in recent memory and players should have great time with it.
And we must all one day leave it.
Nioh 2 is a game that was overshadowed in many ways from Software games. This is not to say that the presentation was of poor quality. More specifically, the name recognition was lacking. The game itself improved significantly over the first title in the Nioh series. As a result, the game felt significantly better than its predecessor. The game's combat is fluid and open to the player's interpretation and creativity. Players, for example, can customize their combat style to their preference. To accomplish this, players will employ a variety of weapons and skills. So if you're looking for a title that can compete with the games like Elden Ring in 2023, even going further, look no further. The stance system as well as a few other implementations make Nioh 2 an excellent choice. Nioh 2 succeeds in forging of its own identity. Finally, Nioh 2 is a fantastic game that more players should check out if it flies under their radar. Fans of the Soul series will find a lot of enjoyment in this title. Fury is a highly stylized action RPG that combines shoot-'em-up mechanics and punishing difficulty. This proves to be a winning formula as the game emphasizes you to continue playing. You will encounter various types of enemies along the way, requiring you to change your strategies from time to time. One aspect of the game that makes it both difficult and enjoyable is its approach to the combat. The beginning of the combat is both fast-paced and deliberate, striking a delicate balance between the two. Second, aesthetic successfully blends a cyberpunk's element with a colorful palette, making the game stand out. Finally, the way the game weaves its story without revealing all the information too quickly entices the players to continue playing. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt does not have to be a soul-crushing and grueling experience. However, if players seek it out, they can do so by simply adjusting the game's difficulty. Playing on a harder difficulties, especially in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, can be extremely punishing. The game's Death March mode is not to be taken lightly. This game, on the other hand, is simply fantastic in its own right, allowing players to explore the world at their own pace if they so desire. Players will take on the role of Geralt of Rivia, a witcher, in charge of thwarting monsters and other nefarious plots across the lands. This game has excellent narrative and story that is well worth experiencing. So while it is significantly older than the titles such as the Elden Ring, the level of quality achieved in this game is no small feat. In fact, you could argue that this is one of the best Elden Ring games to play in 2023 and going further.
The land is dying, and the machines are out of control.
Horizon Forbidden West may not appear so as difficult to some players as the others entries in this list. However, this is not the case. This game would extremely be difficult to play on the game's harder difficulties. To survive in-game, players must be skilled hunters, as Aloy's health pool depletes at higher difficulties. This means you'll have to be extra cautious not to die in the middle of the battle. This can be difficult because you are frequently up against multiple opponents at once. This is so to say none of the game's boss monsters which present its own unique challenges. So while it may be a niche choice, this game deserves to be on this list. While dealing with various of enemies, you might want to take on the stunning environmental design of display in this game. Almost every moment of the gameplay is a screenshotable moment to add to its experience. So if you're looking for a game similar to Elden Ring but a little perhaps easier, Horizon Forbidden West is a great option.
Yharnam is the home.
If you're looking for a challenge that won't let up on breaks, from the moment you hit start, you'll find a refugee in Yharnam's darkest alleys and many nooks and crannies. Bloodborne throws you into the depths of gothic wasteland where you must learn to adapt to the foulest beings that call Yharnam cracks and crevices home. As a blood-borne disease ravages a city, claiming the lives of the few remaining survivors, you must work to solve the city's mysteries and find the source of the plague. However, between the nightmares and reality exists a community of bestial beings, all of which yearn for the hunt and most importantly for your soul. It's a brilliant alternative for you to experience and play. Remnant from the Ashes is a third-person shooter with a heavy dose of Souls-like infusion glazed on the top. Unlike its siblings, the Gunfire Games-led RPG features wall-to-wall gunplay, a departure from the usual hand-to-hand combat that authors of the Souls-like games have previously squeezed into the bone, including the Elden Ring. Remnant invites you and including of your other two friends to embark on the action-packed adventure throughout the post-apocalyptic world in search for the root, an interdimensional evil that threatens to conquer the last shards of Earth. As a survivor, you must learn to run with the wolves who wield the power to alter the course of the planet's fate. Dark Souls remains one of the most visually appealing and mechanically enduring video games on the planet, which features that continue to jolt countless Souls-like worlds to life. Aside from serving as a hub for the die-hard fans of the subgenre, the saga has also served as a textbook example of developers of how to create award-winning experiences, complete with the solid combat mechanics and chilling yet harmonious atmospheres. That as much as true, Dark Souls is not for the faint of the heart. It's physically and mentally exhausting, and it often takes every fiber of your being just to get through the most basic tasks. But if you persevere through its trials and tribulations, the skill you learn can apply to almost anything that comes within the spitting distance of the Souls-like nexus. Its challenges are great, but the payout can be very massive. Giving you the tools and techniques to conquer almost everything, it's worth running even if only once for that very same reason. So what are your thoughts on my suggestion for the best games like Elden Ring to play in 2023? Please let me know in the comment section. Do like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all later and have a wonderful day.